Hey there, and good afternoon, everyone. This is Trader Tim from eMiniMind.com. Going to do a trade recap video. Today is Thursday, the 25th of January, and I wanted to walk through my trades from the week, talk a little bit about my thought process as I was going through the trade. So I got my notes from each day in front of me, and we can walk through Monday through Thursday here. Before I do that, we have, for the first time in a long time, have 2 days that have closed to the downside, and today's day being inside of yesterday. If we go to the 30-minute chart, though, you kind of see the triangle formation where we're getting tighter and tighter and forming some higher lows on the way up, lower highs on the way down, kind of apexing right around that 2840. And so tomorrow, if we break above this little down trend line here, then it's very likely that more upside would resume. So just because we have a little bit of flattening and 3 days of sideways, I'm not going to let that make me lose sight of the trend that we've been in. Now, if we start breaking lows of the day, especially the low from 28.2550s, now, a pullback a little bit further, maybe down to the 28.12s, the next 50% long would be in store, or even a move all the way to 27.72s. That longer term, still incredibly bullish. So those are the two kind of areas that I'm watching as we open up tomorrow and then go into next week. So let's start with Monday's trade. My thoughts going into the week, and I spoke about this a little bit on Monday's video, is that I'm not going to look for shorts unless we break the trading hours only low to high. So like Monday, if we start drawing from lows, we are in a nice uptrend and holding that trading hours only long all day. The market was very strong and then just continued to get stronger. So, these little pullbacks that we might have, they're in the context of this very, very strong uptrend. So, any way you want to slice it and dice it and try to draw up a short, I told myself going into the week, okay, I'm going to pass on those because the market has just been relentlessly moving higher. So in the morning, Monday, I ended up with a little long after the open, and that was just from, we had the first long at the open, and then I like to wait 15 minutes for the market to kind of settle out a little bit, and I just went from lows to highs, and then that pulled back fairly cleanly and worked its way up from there, just trailing swings on the way up, as I talk about on the intraday technique that I've used on day trading as well as swing trading. So just simply taking the next setup in the trend. So even though I'm not trading the first 15 minutes, I'm drawing up the setups. The market pulled back and then bounced, and then once we get 15 minutes of trade gone by, now look to enter at the next pullback, and then just trail these swing lows on the way up. So that was a pretty big move in the markets. Ran it all the way up until we had this kind of late morning pullback and put my stop underneath the swing low, and I was taken out there. On Tuesday, once again, the market started trending upwards pretty strong. And so Tuesday, there we go here. I was looking for a long entry off the open, didn't really get anything. And then at highs, once we started to pull back, I wanted to see a test of the 50%. So, the distance between the 50 and the 61 was a little bit wide. So putting my order out here in front of the 50, my stop would be a little bit tight. And so what I said is, well, I want the market to come down, test that level, and then I'll take the first long setup off of that level. Well, the market broke the 61.8, so it was at that point that I started to kind of flip gears and consider, okay, well, we've got potential for a short setup. Now, we did have a situation on Tuesday where we had low tick lining up at lows, and we had some high ticks that were kind of right near highs, and so it ended up being a little bit screwy. We were getting close, a high tick near highs, a low tick near lows, and it was almost providing mixed signals, I would call it. So same thing with the short now. I wanted to see it trade and then bounce off that level, and then I would take the first short off of that setup. Well, we came down and traded right to the long and stopped. The 61.8 held, and so then what happens is kind of go into a no trade zone in between these two 50s, and instead wait for the market to break down or break out one way or another. In this case, the market broke down, and we've got again, it was like you were getting these mixed signals of market giving you low ticks, and then at the same time, uh, we're in a situation where so you'd say, okay, well, we got low ticks down at lows. That could potentially be the low of the day, and we could be reversing. And so it was just kind of an interesting morning. It made it a little bit hard to trade, kind of sitting and waiting. So I ended up not just kind of sitting tight on the trade, or sitting tight before making a trade, and I ended up waiting all the way until the short was broken. There were a lot of little kind of screwy things going on, and so thinking back about the strength of the trend and how the short traded and then the long held, and then we had a little bit of a reaction but really not much follow through, and then we were getting these low ticks at lows, kind of signaling, okay, well, we could have put in a bottom down here. I decided to wait for the short to break and then draw from lows to highs and get in at the next long, and then we had some support back here. So same kind of thing, we had a little bit of a break, but the longs have been what's really been getting that follow through. So again, just kind of trailing my stop below the swing lows every time we break a new high. And then Tuesday I ended up with just that one trade again as well. On Wednesday, had a long in the morning. Over here that stopped me out, kind of late morning. Tried to get in a little bit earlier, and I had drawn up the full trading hours only long, is what it was, and it didn't get a fill. And so then I just took the next setup after we broke highs, lows to highs, got in long. We got a little bit of a bounce, and then it rolled over and got stopped out of that trade. The second trade ended up being, now that we broke that trading hours only, right here, that short, or that long, the 61.8 of trading hours only. Then I flipped it and drew up the short, and this one was a little bit smaller. I tried to get in the short, but it did not give me a fill. The price was sitting on my order for a little bit and then just kind of rolled on without me. So such is life as trading goes. And then the third trade, let's see. So then, yeah, that's right. Wednesday, yesterday, the next trade set up and just didn't again retrace. So I really wasn't able to get into anything on the trading on Wednesday. And don't really feel bad about that to have one day where you do get, this is the first day where we saw a continuation of the shorts, and so not really a huge deal. If I figured if there's going to be more movement to the downside, it's going to come in days and weeks, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities. So, the fact that price traded up and didn't give me a fill, not a big deal. Monday and Tuesday were pretty solid, and then one little stop out in the morning on Wednesday, and that brings us to today. It's amazing how quickly you forget the trading day. Just a day or two before. I'm so used to just um, placing my trades, and hey, if it's a winner, great. If it's a loser, great. Move on to the next one. And so as I go through my notes and think back, they feel like they're light years away. So today, two trades. The short right off the open, and that was in my eyes, that was a continuation of yesterday's downtrend. If I grab from lows from yesterday to highs, we can see the 61.8 broke, and so drawing up the short and taking that one was the first play of the day. It was a little bit of heat, but no, not a big deal. We did get a pretty solid sell-off. We ended up with a low tick lining up with lows down here, and so I trailed my stop all the way down and got taken out on this little swing high break. And then because we had that low tick at lows, I took this little long here. We broke the swing high, market pulled back, ended up getting stopped out on this one. So the first one was a solid 10 points or so down to lows, and then so to have a 6 tick stop out, no big deal. Now in a situation like this where you have a low tick at lows and the 50% setup here, you have to be quick. But if you quickly calculate where one tick below the low price is, and then put your entry 6 ticks above that, what you end up doing is you enter, and then your stop of 6 ticks is below lows. And so on this one, the market came down and stopped me out. Well, if I, sometimes I will, instead of getting in at the 50 on these kind of setups when we get a low ticket lows, I'll just try to get in so that my stop, when it goes out, it's 6 ticks away and it's below lows. So just a small little nuance, not really a big deal. It wasn't a huge run up or anything like that, but just something that I think about and that I've used in the past, a little technique. So I know there was kind of a lot packed in there, but not really a lot of trades. A couple 10 pointers and big moves, two stop outs, but again, what's 6 ticks of a loss when you have a couple 10 pointers in just a couple of days. So the trend is still strong to the upside. I'm feeling that upside pressure. So if we hold the low from 2 days ago, the 28.25 50s, if we can hold that low, then I would look for us to continue higher, breaking that down trend line. I'd watch for that tomorrow. But if we do get a little bit of pullback here, that'd be healthy. And then move down to 28.12s, even down to 27.72s. Not going to sweat it. I would try and take advantage of some short opportunities if they appear, but I'm not going to load the boat and try to go overboard with shorts. So I hope you find that helpful. If you have questions or suggestions or anything you want to chat about, you can shoot me an email. It's tim@emoneymind.com. Thanks, and have a great weekend.